Yo, let's do something crazy tonight.
Oh, dude, I got a good idea. We can talk about public choice theory.
Seriously? Oh, public choice theory. No. We're going to Oakland.
What?
Our politician's lecture holds no sway. Shorthand politics, here's what we have to say.
What's up, everybody? Greg again with Shorthand Politics. Now, is it just me, or does it seem like our country is moving further away from a democracy and more towards a welfare state? It's like we're replacing private enterprise and our founding fathers' free market, hands-off ideals with an overbearing, ever-expansive government who's got his hand in pretty much everything. Now, as I've briefly stated before, it's a common misconception that the government is thought of as this altruistic parental unit that looks out for the good of its children. Now, I realize that bold proclamations like this are rather inconvenient, so let me explain myself by talking about the logistics of public choice theory. Public choice theory is based on the premise that government officials are mostly self-interested agents. Now, I know you might already have some objections, but just roll with me for a second. Now, I'm not as negative Nancy on the subject as it may seem, but rather I'm a realist in my deductions. Let's walk through it and lay down some foundations. We as humans tend to be self-interested individuals. Think about it. When you make the decision to go out to the bars with your homies come Friday night, are you thinking about how joyful you'll make them just by being there? Alright, maybe there's the occasional DD who goes out just so their friends can have a good time. Then again, they might just enjoy feeling smarter than everyone else on the ride home. But seriously, you're mainly looking to have a good time. Your friends are simply a means to an end. Now, seeing as the government is not an individual thinker, but rather is composed of a plethora of individuals, we can already begin to see where moral implications will arise. Now, this does not mean that there's not altruistic people out there, but rather that true altruism, when you get down to it, is a rarity. But most people, the majority of the time, are motivated by self-interest. With this foundation set in stone, we can now move on to that beautiful organization we call government. Didn't see that one coming, did ya? Humans are self-interested beings, so why would those holding government positions be any different? Why would government officials be any more altruistic than someone using his friends to have a good time? This is why we see so many political candidates who say one thing in order to get elected, then, once in office, do something completely contrary. Now, I'm not saying that we should lose all hope in aggregate government actions, because our founders set up a constitution which inherently limits government decision-making in an effort to force those in power to make socially beneficial decisions. In conclusion, don't fall into the rut of believing individuals in government have a vested interest in looking out for the good of the average citizen. Because honestly, self-interest is a superior motivator than altruism. Until next time, this is Greg with Shorthand Politics, and I'm signing out.